Coach, got to start from the seat at the top. What is it about this defense that is keeping it from being able to hold the lead?
You know, it's a couple guys here and there in opportune times to close the game out, and we haven't been able to do it. You know, 3rd and 10, we got a scramble there, and guy's not in his gap where he needs to be. So, you know, it's not a lack of knowledge. It's just guys got to step up when their opportunity's there to make a play to close deals out. And you know, unfortunately, it's showed up the last couple games, and we feel like we got a pretty good grasp on it. And we'll make some changes and move some guys around and see if we can get it fixed. But you know, you got to be able to close games out.
Eric, on the final touchdown, you can clearly see the umpire throw a flag. Did they tell you anything why nothing was called?
It's probably best for me not to comment on any officiating or ruling of officials, whether they're right or wrong. So I'll just leave it at that.
Coach, how tough has this stretch been for this group, and what do you say to them? They're in these games, they've got these leads. How tough of a stretch has this been for you?
I mean, it's very difficult because, you know, being the optimist, I think everyone that watches us play realizes that we're probably about 4 plays away from being 6-1. And who would have ever thought that? The exciting thing is we're competitive, we're playing hard, there's no question. We're in every game. We're playing teams that have more talent than us. We're toe-to-toe with them every play. And we're going to be in every game. And I think it's a sign that the future looks bright here at Youngstown. You know, we knew this wasn't going to be an overnight process. But I think, you know, if we can take care of business here these last 4 games, I think there might be a little bit of light there at the end of the tunnel. This thing's not over yet. And, you know, we're going to play it to the end. And we can play well enough. We've got the plays designed to be in every football game, and we just got to execute.
Eric, you said some changes maybe on defense, or can you be a little more?
I don't really want to comment right now. You know, I don't want to be a guy that's singling out any specific person or group, but we'll constantly massage our 22 starters and try to find the best guys out there for specific times of the football game, and we need to win.
Offensively, I mean, over 500 yards of offense seems to be clicking on all cylinders.
You know, people get into all those stats, you know, and people talk about 32 first downs and all those kind of things, and the only stat we really worry about is that W, and that's the one we haven't been able to get, you know.
Eric, how about South Dakota State? We've seen they gave Nebraska a pretty good run.
I'd tell you this, I think they're the best team in the league that we've played. I think it's very clear on film when you see that. I don't care what the record is. I go by what I see on film. And I think they're the best coached team we've played. And I think they have the best players. And I think they're the most physical, the strongest, and potentially the fastest. So, in my opinion, I believe that they are the best team we've played thus far in this league. And that's, I mean, it's not surprising, though. I mean, they played Nebraska 17-3. I know Trevor Parks will get upset because you mentioned Nebraska, but I mean, it's 17-3 ball game, and Nebraska's not necessarily overwhelming them. You know, I mean, they're a good football team. They're physical. They play hard. They're playing their gaps. They're disciplined. They tackle. They wrap up. And if you don't tackle them and put your pads on them, they're going to break your tackles and run through you.
Is it almost better to go against a team like that when you guys have been down a little bit, or show some character, or not? Really go against somebody easier?
I don't think there's really anybody easy right now for us, you know, but it'll be a good matchup. Coach has done a good job there. You know, I look, he's been there 14 years, and you know, his kids play hard. They're very strong. They're strong on line scrimmage. I mean, in my opinion, thus far, they're the best team in this league that we've played.
Excuse me. What's been the difference between the 0-4 start and winning the last 2 against ranked teams?
I think they got their offense going, and you know, their running back's on fire right now. He's averaging 5.9 a carry, breaks tackles. You know, he's got a good fit for what they're asking him to do, got some guys healthy on the offensive line there, and they do a good job of coaching them, and they play hard. I mean, they play hard. You guys know that. I mean, the last time we were there, 2 years ago, they got after us pretty good, and last year, you know, I mean, we scored, I think, 10 points on them last 2 years. You know, so we're gonna have our hands full. You know, Western Illinois had #1 defense. You know, statistically in the conference last week. We all know that. But statistically, South Dakota on paper doesn't statistically match up like Western Illinois did. But South Dakota has got the best team in the league we've played this far.
Eric, what's the mood of your team? I mean, human nature would tell you after 3 tough losses. I mean, how was practice last night?
Great practice last night, and our mood is we're going to take it one game at a time. We're going to win 4, finish in 2nd place, and get in the playoffs.
Jim was saying that they haven't scored in the first quarter.
They haven't scored in the first quarter, and they've scored.
I hope they don't score in the 4th and the 3rd, and we'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, as we all know, we come out ready to play, and we play. One thing is, if you're a Penguin fan, we'll keep you on the edge of your seat. We just got to kind of make it. I'm looking for one of these so we can celebrate at the end of the night instead of just celebrate all the way through the 3rd and 4th. So that's what we're going to try to do for the Penguin fans.
Coach, in the losses that you've had, it says the 2nd and 3rd quarter, 97-31, you've been outscored. What do you think the reason is for that? How do you combat that?
Well, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things you can look at. I mean, I don't get as concerned probably about the disparity there because a lot of times we're getting the ball in the 1st quarter, so we're giving them the ball in the 3rd quarter. We are a little bit concerned about our first series of coming off the half. We've been a couple of times having a punt. You know, we don't like to punt, so that's been a little bit of a concern. We've talked about that and addressed that. And, you know, specifically, you know, I feel like we have got to continue to bring in some more depth so we don't have to maybe play a guy as many plays. You know, we got guys playing 89 plays on offense last week, you know, and that's a lot of plays. You know, as if you had a little bit more depth, you know, you'd be able to play one guy 60 and one guy 29, you know, but we don't have those, we don't have that luxury right now, and that's part of this process that we're going through.
Has there been any talk of maybe moving an offensive player that's not playing as much in the defense at this point in the year?
Yeah, we've experimented with that, and we'll probably look at that some more as we continue to go through the week. We're going to try to find a way to solidify some things. You guys will figure that out by game day.
Andre, any closer?
No, he won't be back. I don't expect him to be back, but we're just going to try to keep guys moving around. We're going to look at Cole Grove there at defensive tackle from offense. You know, he's a guy, football's important to him, cares a lot. And I think what's enabled us to do that has been Bana has come along so well. We're going to start him at tight end this week. It's been unfortunate that he's been plagued by injuries because he's got a lot of ability. Football's important to him. He likes to be physical. He's strong. So those are all good attributes that you like to have in a football player.